Just before I start this video, just saying that there is going to be some mention of grooming and some other sexual topics, so if you're not cool with that, get out. Normally, I don't like to jump on the big bandwagon of quote-unquote gacha community drama, because it's always over something either stupid or overblown. Like, there's the whole gacha Disney thing going over there, I don't even want to touch. But, this is something that I kind of actually really wanted to talk about. And again, I don't like getting into gacha drama all that much, but this is something I think I need to raise a bit of awareness about. I have always been a pretty moderate fan of Moss's work. I thought, like, oh, that's cool, oh, I'll look at that for inspiration. Sometimes some of the stuff they put in was a bit too sexual, and at times even bordering on gacha heat, but I'm like, you know, whatever, fine. You know, it's not like it's on kids' YouTube or whatever, so I guess I can live with that. So when they came out to be basically a groomer, I wasn't all that surprised. I hate trying to see the worst people. I always try to give people the benefit of a doubt, but sometimes you're right, and that kind of sucks. One of those times was with Creepshow Art, and honestly, there's a lot of parallels between those two dramas. A big content creator called them out, posted a what should have been an apology video that was just even more mortifying, playing the victim throughout the whole drama, and has been trying to plot back onto YouTube without an apology. But enough about the comparison, let's actually talk about the real topic at hand. The main drama that Moss, or Softie Guts, has been going through recently has been genuine toxic behavior and a lot of cheating. Now, this part I don't care that much, because cheating, that's their own personal lives, and although I do think it's a pretty awful thing to do, even especially if it's with another content creator, I don't think that should be touched on because it's their personal lives, even though it is something that can definitely be criticized. Meanwhile, the toxic behavior part and the grooming, that's a big deal. Which I think a big thing to me that really gets to me about that part of the drama is that they've talked about or vented on their videos a few times about how that stuff has kind of happened to them and how that kind of affected them in some ways. Could those have been a lie? I don't know. Maybe it's just a callback of trauma, but I don't know. Then again, even if what they're doing has been because of trauma or stuff that happened to them, that's still not an excuse to do it. You can't just shoot a guy and say, oh, well, they shoot my mother. No, that's not cool. But, whatever. So, they have been a victim to a lot of weird stuff on Discord, especially to people who are very young. And by teenagers, I don't mean like 18, 17. These are like 14, 15, maybe even 13-year-olds, and that's pretty disturbing. I've already touched upon how much the internet, the worldwide internet, has really just affected children's lives in terms of sexuality and stuff. And that's not too great, but yeah, it's pretty disgusting and horrible what Moss has been doing, but I think we can all already see that. So, once they came out with a really half-assed apology, they went dormant for about 2 months or whatever. And then they decided to come back for 2 days, post 3 videos that have literally nothing to do with anything, and then they've gone dormant again. So, I'm pretty sure what they tried to do was sadly what I would call the smartest decision, by just ignoring everything that happened, come back, huge hate wave comes, and then they'll just continue. It's what James Charles does all the time. Dang, you can also see a lot of similarities between those two guys. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is that Softie Guts, you're young. I think pretty much everyone in the gacha community is young, and you're still learning, but that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole to people, okay? Abusing your trauma and playing the victim card is generally a pretty disgusting thing to do, even if you have had that, because you're just continuing that cycle of abuse. And honestly, I can't speak for myself because I have not experienced what they have experienced, or anything that is remotely close to that. But I think from an outsider's perspective, I have the right to say, please get a hold of yourself. This also kind of brings me into another point, that maybe children that are like pretty young shouldn't be getting into big relationships, especially considering it's poly, which, by the way, polyamorous does not mean that you're going to be cheating on other people, but besides the point. So yeah, that's my take on the thing, and I just want to raise awareness that sometimes everyone on the internet isn't all happy-go-lucky as you may seem. Sometimes they're a 50-year-old man trying to seduce you. You never know. But I really hope that everyone can learn from the situation. And Softie Gets, if you're gonna keep posting, you should at least apologize and try to make up for all the bad things that you've done. If not, the door's over there, bud.